This is really great. We have none other than Matthew West in studio with us.
Oh, this feels good.
It does, doesn't it? Because we've been doing so many like Zoom interviews and everything.
Can't take it anymore.
Yeah, I know. And so it's good to be face to face. I think we're about 6 feet apart.
This feels right.
Yeah, we took your temperature before you walked in here.
Yeah, I felt like it came in colder than I thought.
Yeah, you're not as hot as you thought you were.
I walked right into that one.
I know.
Man, I got to be on my toes when I come in here.
Yeah, you're going to have to, man. And today especially because, there's a little bit of competition, I think, going on now.
Really?
Because Matthew West, it wasn't enough for him to be a 5-time Grammy-nominated recording artist. Now he wants to play in my world. He wants to get into the podcast game.
Here we go.
Yeah, like, why? What possessed you to go, I just need more. I need more of Wally's space.
Oh, man. Well, first of all, your introduction of 5-time Grammy nominated is all that means is I've never won.
I know. I was going to bring that up.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. I did not think of it as trying to take your space. And so what I think we're finding out is that this is a turf war.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
This is what I've walked into.
I take it very personal, for the record.
Well, you're a professional. I'm an amateur.
Okay, thank you. I like where you're going with this.
All I know, Wally, is that I wound up with a 4-month break.
Yeah.
That was unexpected.
Right.
And I got antsy. And I've had this dream for a long time of launching a podcast, but I never had the energy because of my touring schedule.
Sure.
And so I just early on in quarantine, I pulled back up all of my notes and stuff that I had put together. And I was like, this is my time.
What's it called?
It's got a really clever title,
Right.
and people might have a hard time remembering what it is. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
The Matthew West Podcast.
Nice. Just ballpark it for me. How many hours did you spend on that?
Okay, true story. True story. I went through, so I had another name that I had this name planned for like 2 years.
Okay.
Right? So I knew what I was going to call my podcast. I'm getting all done. I got a theme song. It's all ready. My attorney calls and says, hey, man, you're going to get sued if you use that name. I'm like, why? He's like, there's a company in Germany with a similar. I'm like, Germany is so far away.
And they don't speak English.
We're
fine.
not even going to listen to the podcast.
Right.
He's like, I'm telling you. So I went through 10 more names. 10 more names. And the attorney kept saying, how about just the Matthew West Podcast? I'm like, no. It's got to be this. And then I finally was like, guess what?
The Matthew West Podcast.
Yeah.
That's how the Wally Show got named.
Serious?
I swear to you. Everyone thinks I named it after myself because I'm like an egomaniac. I wanted to call it anything but that, and I kept coming up with names, and our boss at the time was like, no, you're the brand, and we want to just call it the Wally Show. I'm like, I don't want that.
I think creatives like us, we tend to overcomplicate.
Yeah.
And I had this name. I was like, I got to go with this because this represents this, and people, it's just a matter of like, hey, is the show any good?
Yeah, exactly.
It's been cool just to be able, and for me, something doesn't become real until it has a theme song.
Oh, and I'm glad you mentioned that because we are going to delve into some theme songs today for you and for me.
Okay.
And we'll do that. And I want to go do a little podcast class for you. Since you say you're new to this world,
yes.
I've been in this world for a while, this space, as we say in the biz. And so I will help you work through this so that you can be successful and try to dethrone me, okay?
You'll be my wise grasshopper. You'll show me your ways.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm your Obi-Wan, okay? So what I want to do with you is, because this is new territory for you, it's like if I was to come to you about writing songs, I would sit there and I would listen and I would absorb because you're amazing.
That's one of the reasons I'm here. I want to soak it up.
I'm amazing.
You're amazing.
So, yes, and so I'm going to go over some things here with podcasts, okay? So here's what I'd like to do, all right?
All right.
Try to interview me for a second here, okay? I want ask me some questions. I want to see what you got. Like I want to see how good you are at this, just off the cuff.
Okay, all right. Today, ladies and gentlemen, my guest on the show is well, let's just say he knows how to pick out a shirt, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
He's got a bedazzled microphone, and you know him, you love him. Please, virtual round of applause for my guest today. The one and only Wally.
Okay, here's what you did. So
that was a good intro.
Here's what you did good here. Yeah, a little bit long. Get to me quicker because I just want to talk about me.
I was trying to build you up.
I know, and it's a fine line. It's a fine line. Okay, and so you did good. You complimented my shirt, something we can talk about because I go, oh yeah, you have a shirt too.
Yeah.
And then I could make some lame joke like, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you because their shirt is so loud.
See?
Yeah.
I got to be quicker like that.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. You mentioned my microphone. I have a bejeweled microphone cover.
It's beautiful. It's very fancy.
The secret to doing a good podcast is having one of these. It has a W on it. It's jeweled. I know a guy.
Is that a guy did that?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that
I did it.
Oh, you did it.
Yes.
I was wondering if you had like an Etsy business or something.
I will make you a W one for you too, okay? We can be microphone buddies.
That's what they'll call us.
Oh, no.
That's good. Okay, so I'm learning a whole lot. So I need a fancy microphone. I need to get to you quicker and tell people how brilliant you are.
Yep.
Well, tell me about this. I was thinking about like if I started the interview, it's like, hey, my guest today's Wally. Wally, I want to start with just sort of a softball question. I'm just going to go to the, just surface details. Let's talk about the worst mistake you've ever made. Like, do we go heavy? We go light.
You got to work your way into that. I made the mistake with Brian Luttrell from the Backstreet Boys my first week in Christian radio and going, okay, let's compare sins. Who had the bigger sin? You go first. His record company went nuts. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So I learned from that. Don't do that, apparently. Okay, so here's the thing. Your fans, your people who listen to you on the podcast need to have a name. Have you thought of this yet? You need to refer to them as something, okay?
Like as a tribe?
Yeah,
so
exactly. Exactly. So like for me, we have the Wally Show podcast, just as creative as the Matthew West podcast.
Yeah, you're making fun of me.
I know,
hey,
I can't.
wait a minute.
I know. So we call our people that listen to pod, we call them potties. So yeah, PODDIES, okay?
And if they listen on the road, it's porta
potties. Exactly.
Hey-o.
You're getting it.
Well, okay, I hadn't thought about this.
You need to do that because then they refer to each other as that, and it bonds them together. Okay.
I have an idea.
I like where you're going. Go.
But I need you to tell me if you like it because I think it could be the Westies.
Okay, that's good. I had a couple ideas too. I had the Best Westers, the West Coasters, maybe a little limiting, but still cool because they're all lazy because they're just coasting through life.
California's crazy.
Yeah. The Westivities. Yeah, like festivities.
That might be my favorite.
Okay. I like Westies, though, too. Like that, you want it simple?
Well, if we have a reunion or something, if we have like some sort of gathering,
yes,
it could be the Westivities.
Yes, if you got the Westies are your fans and you guys have Westivities, there you go. See, this is the secret to doing a good podcast.
Is he going to be, am I getting an invoice for this? Because I feel like I'm paying for like a consultant thing.
You should actually, yeah.
I
just want to be on the podcast. You call me, I will be a guest, okay?
I would love to have you be
Would you really?
Here's what
are you being serious?
Actually, here's what I want. Tell me if you would do this.
Yeah.
So there's 3 episodes. Every Wednesday we release a new episode.
Okay.
And the format of that episode is kind of like what we're doing here, but I interview some of my favorite artists and authors, athletes, different people, and they get to share parts of their stories that maybe listeners don't know. And then there's a segment called Songs from the Story House, where my studio is called The Story House, and we talk about some of the stories behind the songs.
Love it.
Then there's a final segment called Dadvice, where
nice.
my dad and I talk, and my dad's been a pastor for 40 years, and he just gives a final word of encouragement. So 3 weeks a month, that's the format. The final episode every month is called VIP Q&A, where it's all about the listeners. They send their stories. They're kind of like when you take callers.
Right.
But I was thinking it'd be cool for one of those episodes at the end of the month if it was like guest co-host with Wally.
Absolutely.
And you and I hang out together.
Absolutely.
We take listeners' call. Would you be up for that for
you
real?
Mean this means I get to come to your house, right?
You come. Well, maybe we'll find. That COVID might have a second wave. My house.
We'll work out the details.
Okay.
But yeah, I would totally do that. It'd be fun, man.
Wouldn't that be cool?
It'd be a good time. Yeah. Well, here's the deal. I think the key to any show is having something memorable. Like you need a theme song. For your show. And,
I agree.
You can't write one about your own show.
Okay, I've tried, but I need you.
Doesn't work.
Saying.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Okay.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Right.
I'm gonna write you a theme song for your podcast.
Great.
And you're gonna write me a theme song for my podcast.
I mean, I think that's a fair trade.
I do too.
Yeah.
Now I have a ukulele. My guitar is smaller than yours.
We know what a good songwriter you are, so this can't go wrong.
Thank you. No, there's no way this could go wrong, and the performance will be splendid as well.
So wait, you've already prepared one, or you're writing? Okay.
Yeah, I have mine prepared because
So
I'm
you've
not
had
like
time
you.
to put this on. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you want time, you can have it, but you're amazing. I'm not. Okay. So I need all the help I can get. So here we go. This is the Matthew West podcast song.
I can't wait
theme
to
song.
hear it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
It's the Matthew West podcast, and his breath is always fresh. It's the Matthew West podcast, and he's so kind to his guests.
Yes.
He's got jokes, he'll make you smile. His show is somewhat worthwhile. It's Matthew West podcast, oh yeah. It's the Matthew West podcast, and he simply is the best. If he were taller, he would be head and shoulders above the rest. His show is fun for everyone. Trust me, he's just playing dumb. It's the Matthew West podcast. Oh, yeah.
That is amazing.
There you go.
Now it's real.
Yes.
My favorite line was, "It's somewhat worthwhile." Yes. I love that's so true. It's not, hey.
Yeah.
It's optional is what you're saying.
That's what all podcasts are. Let's be honest.
How
Even
am I
mine.
supposed to beat that?
You know what? If you want to take a minute, and we will come back.
Okay,
and
give
then,
me a minute.
And you can put together, because again, I had time to prepare that greatness.
A few minutes later.
All right, this is just a rough draft, but at your house, on the go, you're never without the Wally Show, yeah, yeah. Somebody say, yeah, yeah. On the toilet, just let it flow while you're listening to the Wally Show, yeah, yeah. It's not that bad. Here's the chord. 'Cause it's a great, big, beautiful, wonderful Wally Show. Oh, it's a great, big, beautiful, wonderful Wally Show. If you want to make the morning show last, then join the Wally Show podcast.
Wow.
Somebody say, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know why I wrote this, but eating waffles. Eating waffles?
Are you just hungry? He's like,
Yeah.
I am hungry. I didn't have breakfast.
Yeah. You can listen to them all in a row when you can't get enough of the Wally Show. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
His shirt is loud and his voice is too, and he's here to bring a smile to you. Yeah. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
One more time on the chorus. What? It's a great, big, beautiful, wonderful Wally Show. Hey. Well, it's a great, big, beautiful, wonderful Wally Show.
Well, I went up too.
You can make that morning show last by listening to the Wally Show podcast. Something like that.
Nailed it! That's the good stuff.
on.
I am blown away by that.
I'm signing my name on the bottom of that.
Uh-huh.
That is
Gold.
done.
There you go.